500 years ago, Niccolò Machiavelli wrote a little book. It wasn't a revolution. It wasn't even read by its intended recipient, Lorenzo de' Medici. And yet, we're still reading it. Why? Politics versus morality. The split. Before Machiavelli, politics was always tied to ethics. Aristotle saw politics as the art of virtue in the public sphere. But Machiavelli, he cuts that cord. He says, there is such a gap between how one lives and how one should live, that those who try to live morally in politics are destroyed. So forget utopias, forget ideals. This is political realism. This is about how power works in the world as it is, not how we wish it to be. The dark mirror of human nature. Machiavelli stares into the human soul, and what does he see? Men are ungrateful, fickle, liars and deceivers, and greedy for profit. So he advises rulers, if you can't be both feared and loved, be feared. Because fear isn't constant, love is fragile and it changes with fortune. Virtue versus fortuna. This leads us to the real tension of the book. Virtue versus fortuna. Virtue doesn't mean virtue, it means strength, foresight, even ingenuity. It's the ability to act decisively in a world ruled by chaos. Fortuna, that's fate, instability, and life's unpredictability. Fortune is like a river. When it flows and overflows, it destroys. But a wise ruler builds embankments while skies are clear. Machiavelli's prince is the man who plans ahead. And his ideal prince? Cesare Borgia. Born the bastard son of a corrupt pope, conqueror, schemer. He hired a brutal minister to restore order, then staged his public execution. The people were satisfied and stupefied. He controlled power and the symbols of power, a master of theatre. The flaw in the blueprint. But here's the irony. Machiavelli's perfect prince failed. He couldn't predict that just as his father died, he too would fall fatally ill. The one thing Borgia couldn't outwit? Death. Untimely comes this hurt, says Shakespeare's Cornwall, another Machiavellian villain. So Machiavelli's blueprint of power, the separation of politics from morality, contains its own undoing. Realism gives you control, until reality strikes back. Why the prince still matters. Machiavelli's world hasn't gone away, it's just evolved. He forces us to ask, can you be good and still win? Does virtue have a place in real politics? And what are you willing to compromise to survive? Islamic perspective. Can truth and power coexist? Islamic history too wrestled with these questions. In the Quran, Pharaoh is portrayed as a tyrant who claims divine authority. In contrast, Prophet Yusuf accepts political power, but remains just, balanced and wise. In Surah An-Nisa, it's written, indeed Allah commands you to render trust to whom they are due, and when you judge between people to judge with justice. The righteous leader in Islam isn't naive. He knows the world is flawed, but he doesn't abandon principle. Machiavelli shows us the mechanics of power, and Islam teaches us the purpose of it.